Hello, good afternoon and happy lunchtime if you're watching it live. This is Chris Pickard talking from Body Imbalance in sunny Hertfordshire. This week I have been talking about detoxification and certain pathways, certain things you need to take into mind about the whole of your health. In particular, glutathione and methylation I've spoken about already. Today I'm going to be a little bit more controversial. I'm going to talk about something that there's certainly a lot less hard facts about this, but it could be a problem for you, or it could be a problem for some people. So it's worth at least beginning to open your mind about the possibility so you can rule it out, so you've tried it. And that is electrosmog. Now you may have heard of, smog from air particles. You may of course now be very aware of the stuff we're eating and all the toxins that can get inside of our body in that way, and breathing them in and drinking them in. Hello Lisa, hello Amanda, hello Donna. But today electrosmog, and this comes from a variety of different ways. And what do I mean by electrosmog? Well, for instance, this device here, this mobile phone, this is producing electrosmog. My computer screen is electrosmog into my eyes, which I spoke a little bit about last week with sleep. Electrosmog comes from pretty much every single piece of electronic equipment we have. But the worst kinds seem to be things like microwaves, microwave energy things. That includes smart meters that are now being fitted everywhere. Apparently, the microwave emissions that they are emitting are causing unhealthy problems with some people. Like you wouldn't stick your head in a microwave, so why would you have a microwave emitter going the whole day around your entire house? Don't ask me why they use microwaves, don't ask me why they can't use something else, but apparently that's a problem. So, for some people. So you have smart meters, they're getting more and more prevalent, that's microwaves. Then you have stuff from mobile phones, and again, it's usually when they're in poor connection areas, that's when they're at their worst, and the fact they're next to your head. Your skull isn't probably formed till you're 17, 18, 19 years old. And that's when your skull is going to offer full protection against a mobile phone naturally. So certainly I'm very glad that neither of my children are big mobile phone users. In fact, my eldest, I have to remind him to take his mobile phone out and then remind him to have it charged and turned on when he goes out if we want to contact him. So mobile phones, computers, screens, there's the electricity coming from, everything that's in our walls as well. And then if you live underneath a power line, that can be a major source of electrical disruption. So why is this controversial, and how can these cause problems anyway? Well, let's have a look at how the human body is working. The brain, we know there's an awful lot of electricity that happens there, and it produces neuroelectrical impulses. This is my little drawing of a nerve and a nerve synapse to an organ. So basically this can be interfered with electrically because we know it's electric. Our cell membranes are held together. There's electric forces going through there as well. So if you're passing all kinds of weird stuff, hello Mr. Peter Cohen, hello Louise as well, hello Karen, hello Clive. So we know that because we have a body electrical things and electromagnetic things have a powerful effect on us. What we don't yet know is, do they have a good or a bad reaction? Now, you may be taking this and you may be thinking, but our doctor says it's rubbish. We know we have an electromagnetic component. We know that it can be measured because that's how MRI scanners work, which is something that every doctor knows about. An MRI scanner works by detecting the magnetic fields from every single cell in our body. Every single cell has a north and a south. And they're usually, they're all kind of, one cell's going to be, why don't I draw pictures? Okay, so one cell can have its north there and a south there, and then the cell next to it, okay, it might be north-south, the way it's aligned for whatever reason. Okay, and what an MRI scanner does is it basically passes a very strong magnetic field through the body that makes all of the cells in our body line up in the same way, and then it can start detecting it and see what's basically happening. So we know that our body is affected by magnetic fields, but what we don't yet know is it bad all the time. Microwaves we know are cooking us, which is why I think smart meters are a bad idea, and don't have them fitted in your home if you have chronic health problems. Try not to live underneath major power lines. That's probably not too good either. But the thing is, there are more and more of these things happening all the time. And you may remember from the olden days, when we had old TVs and hair dryers, when you turn the hairdryer on, the screen goes fuzzy. Similar sort of thing happens when you put a hairdryer on, or you have a mobile phone emitting. You can hear it through speakers, sometimes going beep, 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 beep. It's going through us as well. And that can be disrupting to some of the electrochemical things that are happening on the inside of our body. So if you do have major health problems and you're surrounded by lots of electrosmog, and you know that when you're outside you're feeling better, this is what you need to do, okay? Now you can get little things like this that supposedly protects you from electromagnetic stuff. I got this years ago, and there is actually some scientific proof that this does actually help prevent injuries when you're wearing them. Whether or not it's doing it by doing something electromagnetic, don't know. But this is what I suggest you use to help combat electrosmog in your life, apart from making sure every cell membrane in your body is correctly working, is have something like this, okay, which is connected via a lead to your earth, so it actually grounds you. Because when you get outside and you're actually touching the earth with your bare hands or your bare feet, or at least in closer proximity to it, you're actually discharging lots of positive ions, because positive ions are actually the ones that tend to build up and cause lots of aches and pains. And the fact that we're electrically shielded in some ways, we're not actually in contact properly with what's called the Schumann resonance, which again is pretty controversial. We know it's there, it's a sum total of the electric field of the planet, but what we don't yet know is does it, and we know that it does seem to entrain with our brain waves, and it may have an effect on healing and health. But a grounding mat, simple, it's completely what's the word I'm looking for? It's not controversial that grounding yourself has a very beneficial effect on your health, unlike other things like what I'm wearing, a Q-link and other things. It's controversial as to whether they're actually really doing anything. So electrosmog, protect yourself by getting a grounding mat and using that like a mouse mat. You can also just stick it on the floor and stick your bare feet on it on a regular basis as well. So what question have I got? Is a magnetic bracelet okay? Possibly is the answer. There are ways that you can sort of test for it. Generally, magnets, every time you move, you produce an electromagnetic field. In an injured area that's not moving, you don't create the same field. So yeah, you can put a magnet across it in the right way and it can help. What was there on it? It's something called a Q-link. Q, as in the letter, and link. They're about 100 quid. I used to recommend them. Now I'm much more in for the idea of using grounding mats, and there are some other devices that might work, but I'd just say get a grounding mat and ground yourself on a regular basis. Okay, so that is Electrosmog. It's worth protecting yourself because it's very easy, and it has many other health benefits when you ground yourself, which I've already covered somewhere else. And for the rest of the week on Detox, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but stay tuned, and I'll be back at 1:30 tomorrow and 1:30 on Friday. Live long and prosper, everyone, and yeah, be magnificent.